Welcome in to episode 8 of our Let's Play Ara History Untold series, where we are learning the game, exploring all the strategies and different nuances, and really just getting to know Ara as a 4X strategy game. We are still pretty early game, I would wager. I mean, we're on turn 70, so we're really not that far in. Ara games go quite a few turns. So we're going to be cranking through turns today. We are in a critical portion of what I feel is the early game portion of Ara before we set up our snowball kind of into the rest of the game. We are in our very first golden age, and we are rocking some pretty cool strategies to try to be able to get some stuff done here with Benito Juarez of Mexico. It has been a lot of fun. If you need to catch up on any of the updates or any of the episodes leading up into this time, down in the description below is a link to episode 1 of the series. You can catch up on everything leading us up to this moment where we enter turn 70 and our first golden age. And let's see what the game has in store for us today. Here we are in our capital city of Ciudad de Mexico, and you can see we're getting pretty big. Like, we've expanded pretty decently in our capital. We're crossing kind of coast to coast on our little kind of peninsula here. And we have also expanded to 4 cities. We have been aggressively forward settled by both Italy and India on both sides. We, in both instances, settled our city turn or two, one turn here, I think 2 turns here, 2 or 3 turns here. Later than them, we have lost out on some critical components as far as resources are concerned, and are strongly considering war as an option. Italy, maybe we could set a border with at some point. We could let them have maybe this coastal area here or something. I'm not really sure. We'll have to see how the game plays out. India, I'm not sure. This settle is perturbing. It's not a great settle. The city's not going to do particularly well for them, and so burning it down might be a really nice option for us. We got the settle we wanted. We just got it a turn later than them, and so we didn't get to grab some of the resources and territory that we wanted. So we'll have to see how we end up dealing with that. More importantly, right now, we are 9 turns away from getting Stonehenge finished in our second city of Neza, which, if you'll notice, Neza and our capital of Mexico City are both very close in population. This occurred because there were multiple tribes over here, and Neza was the closest city to those tribes. I believe it absorbed 2, if not 3. I think maybe just the 2, though. 2 tribes into Neza, and so Neza actually is almost as big population-wise as our capital at this point, which has created kind of a nice situation for us where we are getting to build 2 wonders during our golden age. We also have Nemrut Dog going down, 8 turns left in our capital, and so that feels pretty good. If we get both those done, which we should, unless something weird happens, during our golden age, we'll get that 25% bonus to prestige. Prestige is how you win a game of Ara, and so this will set us up quite nicely heading into the future, let alone the fact that there are 2 triumphs, and the triumphs are very good. Nemrut Dagan specifically gets us +1 city cap, and so up in our city in the north, we are currently building a settler to move out to a very critical settle point right here in order to grab access to some more grain. We have only 1 access to grain in our entire empire so far, and as we looked at the map, we realized the only grain other than that we will potentially have access to, there is some rice up here if we decide to kind of creep around and try to grab that, but is right here. There are 2 territories that we can take advantage of. So we're trying to get settlers out as fast as we can when we have the city cap right down here. We're at 4 of 4 on our city cap. Nemrut Dog will increase that to 5, and so we'll have that settle ready to go essentially. And then we're also starting to try to craft the materials to be able to build our palace, and our palace will increase our city cap again. We could build another settler, and I don't know where that one's going yet. Well, once we have this in, we'll kind of get a feel for what we're going to try to do. I mean, honestly, if Italy doesn't want all of this beautiful stuff up here, maybe we just put a city up here somewhere, and we just surround this guy, and eventually we could just burn it down, or just take it if it's a decent city by the time it's there. It actually would be a nice city for us. I know it's close to this one, but there's a lot of territories here that we potentially could gain access to through that. How big cities should be, I think, is kind of a debate right now in Ara. It just depends, I think, on where the territories are that optimize things. You probably want to be settling anywhere from like 3 to 4 territories away from a city, right? So like these are relatively close together. These ones are probably split pretty nicely. And then this one's probably like about right. It's a little far from our capital, right? So like this would be problematic for us to try to snatch up a lot of the land. Long term, I think we could get it, but in the short term, we might not have access to very much of it, just because we don't have a city kind of in this-ish area is probably where one would have been nice, but obviously there's too many cities here now. So that is where we sit, and today we're going to be ripping through turns in our golden age. We have big buildings all up and running, and so there's not like a ton of stuff to do. This city is what we're paying attention to very closely because we're looking to see who will get this territory. Who will grow first? Now, they were 1 turn ahead of us on putting their city down. They were hence 1 turn ahead of us in getting their first growth. The plan is, can we get this farm out fast enough to improve our growth by that little, it's like 3% or 3 city growth with the farm, right? We get plus 3% city growth. If we get that 3%, can we gain enough to be able to push and try to grab this territory as our claim? We would like this territory. I kind of doubt that we're going to get it. We'll push for it, but let's see. Let's hit the next turn button, and we will rock and roll. See our growth bar is going up. We can see our farm is being built. We don't mind any of those things. We have crafted a code of laws, a grain store, a rope, and another code of laws. So let's go. I want to make sure. Does everybody have all their stuff in? Let's do a quick city check. Yes. Okay. Got all of our code of laws and things in. That feels pretty good. It was nice when we had the jewelry. We just don't have any extractors to have like the precious metals or stones to be able to accelerate jewelry. So can't really build any more jewelry right now. So we burned the 5 we got out of the event at some point, and now we're just kind of relying on other things we can craft. Okay. We're exploring India's land over here. Their second city, it was over here. So I think they have 3 cities. This is their second city. They went coastal over here. So I'm assuming this kind of peters out right here. We didn't go explore that. We'll bring him back around through the fog here, I think. Just to continue our pattern of kind of like back and forth across our continent as we kind of just explore further. Again, went with a single scout opener in this one. I still don't regret that in this particular game. I do think that the optimal starting build is to open with a scout, probably. It's just the way that the game seems to function. There's real high value in scouting in order to grab, not only just to learn who's around you and what the terrain looks like and where you might want to settle and things like that, but moreover to grab the caches, right? The caches, some of them are insanely valuable, as we have seen, and then some of them are just moderately valuable, but there's a lot of value in grabbing those caches. We actually still have a cache sitting way over here because we didn't go down here. We explored this with our spearman and he couldn't grab it. So at some point we'll have to swing back around or build another scout. Maybe when we get in the water, we build another scout and then that scout can take off into exploring maybe perhaps other continents. All right, this guy's idle, but we know he's going to be doing hunts. That's what the spearman is for. He's hunting all of the wildlife in the area. We should probably start hunting some of the ones that are in our cities, but yeah, the tiger hunts, they take a while and they really damage your units. So it's a slow, that one's a slow process. We do have some copper here that I don't remember this being. Maybe we uncovered the fact that there was copper here. Maybe I've just been blind the entire time. We should probably grab that because getting copper up and running would be decent for us. That's actually not a bad plan. And we already know this is going to be our like granary farm area for this city. So we'll have to determine, I mean, we don't really need food, right? So this might be a nice claim for us next to grab access to this copper, get a stone pit in. I don't think we have any stone pits running right now. We also need to be pushing our lumber. Our lumber is running low. We probably need to put a lumber mill in here at some point after we get our wonders in. All right, we're rocking. Ooh, we got a paragon. That's nice. Crafted a bunch of stuff. Our relationship has changed from distrust to disliked. It's like bouncing back and forth. I'm not really sure why that's been happening. Only lost 15 health hunting. I think that's not bad. East has been consumed. We have some idle units. And oh good, we can cut through. So perfect. We'll cut right alongside the mountain and see. We'll kind of hopefully bust up all this fog, and then we'll make our way up this way just to see What's going on? Oh, no way. On the spot, the actual spot that this settler, who is 2 turns away from being built, is heading to, Italy has settled on what I'm assuming is their 3rd city. So that's essentially, we have to take that city. This is a city spot that we have to have. I don't think that there's any way around that. And so I think our next move is just to train an army. We've gotta cut Italy back now. This settle is egregious, and definitely that just hampers our empire in a million different ways. That city has to go. So I think we're looking at a pretty heavy, like our second act is gonna be pretty heavy war. We're gonna start arming up here in just a little bit. We're gonna have to. That is very disappointing. Italy was going to be our trade partner. I was going to let him have this city. That can't. So, our choices come back. There were consequences to our choices. We made the choice after we saw the settler going down here to push our southern settle. Right, we were sitting right about here, and we could have gone up here or we could have gone down here. We made the choice to go down here and contest our border along the coast in the south. Yeah, we were planning on settling this spot with this settler. We didn't because we saw the settler down here. I don't think I'd make a different decision. I think I would still push this. But knowing this, like hindsight, like maybe you just go up here to get access to the grain because that's a really important settle. Now that I know that Italy's going in that direction, but oh man, that's a real bummer. Because now we're gonna have a settler, and honestly, like with nowhere to go. Like, where are we even gonna settle? I guess we just push a settle up here. Like, we'll push a settle on Italy, and then I think we're just in for war. War against both, probably both. I mean, Italy likes us. India doesn't. This is. Oi. All right, let's see. We already have a chief advisor. We also have I can't remember what's the other. Let's double check. Paragons. We have a domestic. We have a chief and a domestic advisor. So, what do we want outside of that? A prophet would get us some extra religion spread. It's not a bad idea. We could switch the domestic advisor after we build the wonder. We could put it to craft production in our capital. That's not a bad idea, that 10%. Also, the chief advisor on Thutmose here is much better than the one we currently have. So I like the idea. I actually like the idea of taking the artist Thutmose here, and we can switch. Yeah, we could put them in as a domestic advisor as soon as we're done building the wonder, and then we could always switch them into a chief advisor spot when we need to. So we're gonna grab that, and then
sculptor from ancient Egypt, favored by royalty.
And then we leave in these for now. So I guess what we could do is we could put. I don't know what we do. What do we do with this person for now? Because we've got like 9 turns left, or 8 turns left on Nemrut Dog, which we want the 10% build production that we're getting from Imhotep right now. So we just throw in as a culture advisor, or do we do like do we have any masterwork proficiency slots? We have a great hearth. We could put them in the great hearth to try to create like some masterpieces. Might as well, right? We'll work on a masterpiece for a little while. I've never messed with the masterpiece system yet, so I'm interested to see what that looks like. This is so frustrating. All right. There's our research. We get the prestige bonus on that from our Golden Age. We're also going to do this one because it also comes with 6 prestige that we'll get that 25% bonus on. Trading is decent as well, so we'll do trading. Like trying to recover from this mentally. It's like so disappointing. We were so close to being able to just get this in, and then having kind of our nice like 5-city like established like our border cities would like be there. We would have like a nice all right. Got no grains, and that's why we needed this city, because we got no grains. Oh, man. Okay. India continues to dislike us. This guy's hunting away. Okay. This guy's moving around. We're starting to get a look at everything they've got here. What is India? India has a battalion of spearmen. We're not going to be worried about that. Our wedge formations would be able to crush any of those types of battalions. That's all we've seen from them. Let's do a quick peek on military strength. Caesar Beccaria, 104 military strength. We sit at 5 because we don't have any. So we'd have to try to match his military strength. He's the #1 in the game in military strength currently. And he's sitting pretty well too. Interesting. Okay, so if we want to go to war with Mr. Beccaria, we have to treat it very seriously, I get the feeling. Because he has a large military. Okay, this guy cleared that. He probably needs to heal next. And then we should probably start clearing... Oh man, I guess maybe we should start these hunts over here. I'm not sure. We've got some easy hunts over here that we could clear. Or easier hunts, so maybe we do those first. But let's get him healed up before we send him off to the next thing. Okay. Diplomacy changed. Italy friendly to neutral. So that's, yeah, this is all pointing towards some sort of military conflict here in the near future. This mountain range is beautiful. Let's cut this way. There's some nice stuff up here too. I have to see what the continent looks like. We got to pick where this settler's built. So we got to pick where that settler's going now. It's going to be interesting. All right, so you heal. And here is our settler, and the spot is taken. There's no use in trying to, like, settle next to it and then try to grab this. They're definitely gonna... Well, they could go here first. That's such a nice city spot. And I can't actually check settles. So I don't actually know where to go even with this guy now, because we don't have our city cap up until Nemrut Dog is built, which is still 4 turns away. So I don't actually even know where to send him because, once again, I cannot check zones. I can't see how many zones are in a territory, and I'm not going to settle a city unless it's a 5 or 6 zone territory, and I can't check that currently because they 100% really badly need to change that. I'm very shocked that they have not implemented that change as just a hot fix at this point. I think it's a huge miss. My assumption is that we could go somewhere up here and just start claiming this land. I mean, that's my so like here or here maybe, like we'll just send them like in this direction. This would be a nice claim because we could go here and then here and start to claim out some of this. There is some wheat up here that we could potentially get access to. There's also the rice here, so maybe like this spot or this spot would be optimal. So we could grab this rice and the cocoa and the copper. That would be nice. So let's just send them up here. We'll check later when we actually can see that. But man, what a bummer! All right, let's check on our builds. Build time 5 turns, 6 turns left on the golden. Build time is 4 turns, 6 turns left on the golden. So sitting pretty for that. Oh, well, war is upon us sooner than we would have liked, and this could cause some substantial problems for us. War has begun. A skirmish. It's not so... I don't know if that's what that means, but we prevent damage by nation for 25 turns. He's got a military force that we know about. We do not have one. And we have several turns before we will have one because we are trying to finish these wonders within our golden age. So this game's going to get absolutely fascinating. So my assumption is that, they want to attack by scout? Who are they going to go after? They probably come after this city, right? Is my assumption. Their closest military force, I believe, is this one. So as long as we keep our scout moving, we'll see what that... They might have another military force. Their score was like a 60-some. Like 15. They must... That can't quite be right? They've got to have at least one more force, maybe. And we'll find out soon enough, I feel like. Okay. Discovered a cache. You have been wronged by India and have unlocked the retaliation war causes belly, so we'll have the ability to attack if we need to. We're at war. Our spearman has healed. Our spearman is also sitting in like a somewhat defensive position. He's not really in a place to to truly like defend against like a whole battalion or anything like that, but nation rankings have changed. Where are we at? Caesar is like creeping up on us too, eh? Interesting. Craft queue is empty. Let's grab a craft. Let's grab a craft. Oh, we have an open spot. Do we have anything to put in there? We throw herbal medicine in there. Or baskets. Now we'll keep the baskets. Let's go. Oh, actually, that gives us extra production. You can see us throwing baskets in here for 10 turns. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go baskets for the production. Because we're gonna need to get an army, a couple wedge formations cranked out here as soon as our triumphs are done. We're gonna have to do that. And same issue here, right? I think we have some plows that we need, but wheels would be hugely beneficial for us in the law, like because we don't have wheels at all anywhere. So let's go wheel. We will use. We're gonna use materials for now to boost this, along with 2 wealth. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll do the double boost on the wheel again. Let's get like 5 of them out because I think we have places to put them. And that will help us a substantial amount. We can also start building the rope and other things for our palace, but I think right now we're not too worried about that. We're going to be cranking military for a little bit out of our cities. In fact, I wonder if this city went right into building the farm. I wonder if we should just switch that up. I'm not as concerned here about the farm. We have plenty of food. The farm is going down on the horses though, I think, right? I believe that... Oh, no, it's actually going on the cattle. So that's not even as effective as putting it on horses. I think what we do here is... I need to check my... Oh, let's check things. Okay, so we have 1 turn left on an archer in the queue in the capital. As soon as Nemrod Dag is built, that will be finished. That's the last archer we need for our first wedge formation, so that's really nice. We could actually switch to that archer now and still get away with building Nemrod Dog on time. I'm relatively certain. Let's run a quick check on that here in a second. So in this city, what I'd rather then do is start a second wedge formation. So what I'd like to do is get a swordsman out. And then, yeah, so we're gonna go swordsman here first. That'll be out in 6 turns. That'll be the point on our second wedge formation. So that will give us access to get a second wedge out in case we need it. But I have the feeling that our wedge formation is going to be substantially better than anything India can throw at us right now. So, but what we'll do is we might as well go burn this down while we're there, right? We're at war. So we'll deploy whichever city has the highest security rating, probably Neza, but we'll deploy out of that city and then we'll just go attack New Agra. And he declared the war, so we'll see where he chooses to attack, but my assumption is this is where the war occurs, the battles. So we'll move down in that direction and we can do that pretty quickly. So we have 5 turns left on our golden. We have money in the bank to be able to rush some things if we need to. We have 3 turns left on Nemrod Dog, so we have a turn to spare. So I think we can do this. We can switch to the archers. We can finish them on the next turn and then get them out, and then Nemrod Dog will continue building. And I think that should allow us to get it out on time, right? Because this is 4 turns to Nemrod Dog, and we still have 5 turns left in our golden. So that should be fine if we do it that way. And if for some reason the production levels change for whatever reason, we can always rush the wonder at the very end, right? India's closed their borders to me. Well, that is not a surprise particularly. All right, we have a claim generated in our capital, so our capital is ready to make a claim. And man, that's fast growth in our capital, because we just claimed this to build Nemrod Dog, and we have another claim already. Let's give a quick check. Oh, we do need to prep for a docks location. That may be what we need to do, is prep for a docks location. We've got lots of territories with plenty of options for builds. We don't have another wonder we're like immediately putting in. So it might be this territory or this territory for a docks. I think I want the docks to be over here because we're going to have docks over here in Neza. And so we'll have access to putting ships out in this side of the ocean. And so I think it would be best to have docks up here somewhere, maybe with these sheep. Although the sheep kind of mess up like putting stuff in the docks area. So we could bring it down here, but that's like a teeny tiny dock. I don't love that. So maybe we just claim this. Put the sheep. Put the docks in here with like a workshop, like an extra workshop or something like that. I think that might be the play. The 5 territory. That's pretty nice to throw a workshop and a bunch of buildings in with the docks. I think that's a really nice play. This one's a 5 as well. We could put like the teeniest, tiniest little docks in there. Aesthetically, I don't love that, so I think we're gonna go with Acapulco being our claim on this next one. That feels good to me. Let's grab that. It's a nice territory as well. It's got some good yields and stuff. Okay, we also have an extra expert. We're up to our 3rd expert here. Right now, we're focusing on the grain stores and on the 5 gold we're getting out of our Great Hearth. I think we should switch off the gold now, to be honest. So I think we should put one on... We need one on the grain. I think that's a given at this point. We know we don't have access to grain because we've been cut off by Italy up at the grain we were going to go grab. So I think getting 150% harvest from our grain, I think, is important. And then I think we can pull our Great Hearth guy now. Like, yes, we're gaining 5 gold per turn or 5 money per turn out of that, which is not bad for sure. But I think that if we switch over to the logging camp and get the +5 city craft production, I think that's probably more worth it for us right now. I mean, the other thing would be is that we could put it into the workshop, but I think the 5 gold per turn we can switch off of now. We'll go over here to our logging camp. It gets us more lumber and gets us that +5 city craft production. Logging camps are a very nice place to... Logging camps and stone pits are pretty nice places to put experts when you don't necessarily know kind of where to put them. Obviously, eventually we'll be moving them into buildings like the docks and the stables, which are where they're most valuable. But this will do, I think, for us right now. Okay. Let's keep an eye on our borders, where the wars have been declared, and we will see how this plays out. Region has been claimed. Crafted some things. Horses have been healed. They stopped chasing me, so we can stop and collect these. There's so much land over here! What are you guys doing? Stop settling towards me! Ugh. Alright, Neza has grown yet again. And... oh yeah, Neza grows the turn after our capital. That's so funny. Neza is literally the size of our capital. So I think we'll go baskets again here. Or, oh, we haven't gone Code of Laws here yet. So we'll go Code of Laws. Code of Laws for the increased security, right? Get the security up so that when we're deploying forces, we at least have the 50. We're not going to get a bonus from it, but like that's fine. Oh, wait, but they're building Stonehenge as well. So they'll have Stonehenge we deploy out of them. Stonehenge also gets you a bunch of city security. So that's going to be optimal for us for deploying our forces out of there, for sure. Okay. Craft queue is empty. We are producing feasts at an okay rate. Actually, we're consuming them faster than we produce them at this point, though. We're doing well on those. I still don't think we have the value out of, like, the Codex only gets us +10 city knowledge. It's not good enough, in my opinion. Although... we can use them to train missionaries and oracles and things like that, which is not a bad idea. I really like the idea of getting some jewelry out, but I just don't think it's going to happen. So I think we'll throw people on feasts again for just a little bit. 5 feasts, and then we'll kind of see where we're at from there. All right, our archer has completed training. We don't want to deploy them until Stonehenge is done, though, right? It's +25 city security. No, I take that back. Sorry, I take that back. We can train them. We can activate them and deploy them out of Neza. They won't start with the boost, but to my knowledge, they will get the boost as soon as Neza's security level goes up. I believe that's true. Whatever the active security level of the city with which they were deployed from, where they muster out of, that city's security rating actively, like turn by turn, affects their combat bonus, right? So if you look here at city security, right, it says security is a measure of how safe your citizens feel in their city, inspired and empowering your nation's military readiness. Increase your security by building government and military improvements. And then here it says that at 60 we get a +5 force strength. What I understand about this is that it is an active rating. So you can't just boost your security all the way up and then drop your security all the way down after you've mustered your troops, because that bonus is tied to the security in your city. So we can, but it works the other way too. If your security is low and then you boost your security up, then that force strength multiplier is applied to any forces that were mustered from that city. And so we should be able to just right now deploy our troops from the city in the wedge formation, and then when we finish Stonehenge, they'll get the percent boost that they're going to get from it's 25 city security, so it's going to go up to, we're at 50, it's going up to 75. That probably gets us like a 10% force strength bonus, which is actually pretty substantial, right? And then we could additionally, we could even choose, right, to build like a watchtower or something in that city to further boost the properties there. So I think that we could deploy our forces from here right away, which is kind of nice. Okay, we have to pick our expansion though, is our next big thing. We've got some really nice territories. But what do we want access to, I guess, is the question, right? We have our workshop docks territory already. We have our granary territory already. We have another territory with a lot of farms in it, so we don't have to have more farms necessarily. So I'm not like, there's not like a key thing that we need to have. We also don't have like another wonder that we necessarily need to build. So unless there's something we need to grow out to, I think we just start claiming along these two rivers. So we could take this one or this one, just depending on where we want to go with it. They're all like exactly the same essentially, right? So I think we can claim whatever we want. This is a 5. This is a 5 as well. So again, like, they're really nice. They're really big builds. They're really good. I think we just push our borders out in this direction. So I'll just take New Coimbatore. Again, we're leaving Leon down here just in case we don't get the claim we want at the bottom. And then once again, we have an extra expert. We've got one on the granary. We've got one on the workshop. We don't actually have a spot to put this guy necessarily. We're basically choosing between production here or production of horses. I don't mind extra horses. That seems like a good idea. So we'll go there for now. Again, until the docks are in, we might as well do that. All right, 4 turns left in the Golden, which means 3 turns left on Stonehenge. And now it also means 3 turns left on Nemrut Dog. But we can deploy our units, right? Our reserves have been added, but we can deploy into our battalion in a wedge formation. We go archers into that spot, archers into that spot, swordsmen into that spot. There is our wedge formation. So as you notice here, when we're talking about deployment, actually, this is the first time we've deployed. So we'll go through this. I think it's important. So when you're going to deploy your units, all of your units, after you craft them, sit in your reserves, right? So we had all 3 of these units in our reserves. It was important to get all of them because once you deploy a unit, it is deployed. You have to recall them in order to redeploy them. With the update, you can now recall them, which is a huge thing, right? So we can recall units and redeploy them out into new formats or new tactics or with new armies, which is important. So we want a wedge formation because the battalions are much more powerful than a squad. And the wedge formation, if you read it down here, actually my face covers it, so that's perfect. A tactic utilized by the battalion formation. In slot 1, if you have a melee infantry there, you get 10% strength. If you have and then if you have projectiles in slot 2 and slot 3, you get plus 10% strength on each of those units as well. So each unit gets 10% strength based on being in a wedge formation if you have the right unit slotted, right? So melee infantry in the front slot, in the back 2 slots, projectile, that's what we've got. So we're getting 10% strength bonus to all of our units in this wedge formation. That's different than, say, right, a line, which does get you additional strength, but it's specific, right? The line formation, the melee infantry in slot 1 gets plus 10% fortify action strength. So when they're fortified, they're getting a plus 10, but not just base action, right? So line formations, if you're fortifying, are not bad at all. Wedge formations, much more so if you're going to end up on the offensive. But a line formation can work just as well if you have fortified them into position and are expecting to be attacked. So that's, again, just something to think about from a tactics standpoint. Now that we have everything set, we want to change our deployment spot, right? So we want to be deployed out of Neza because Neza is going to have our highest security rating, right? And that's where we want to get that bonus force strength from. So we set it to Neza for deployment. Again, they can be trained anywhere. They can be built anywhere, right? Where you deploy them to is the important part. So we're going to deploy them out to Neza. So once we hit deploy, they will go into mustering. They will muster, I believe it's 2 turns for a muster. It'll be this turn and next turn. So we'll have to hit end turn twice, and then they will muster out of Neza and be ready to be a fighting force. So that will take place soon, so we'll be able to hopefully defend our land from whatever India has planned for us. All right, there's our research of trade. We now have roads available to us, so we want to check that out as well. And we get that 25% bonus on our prestige. That feels good. We may want to gain access to stables at this point, and the chariots, because maybe some horsemen might help us in our war, potentially. Weaving is also very good. Leatherworking is actually really, really good. In fact, getting a tannery up and running is probably something that we should do post-haste in one of our cities. That's a one-turn research, so that's super simple for us. I think I'm going to go chariots just in case we want to start getting some of that stuff down. So we'll do that. Arguably, you could go tannery there, I think, as well. Okay. Let's see what's going on. We got a cache. That's nice. Trade room with Italy has changed to a road connection. Perfect. Oh, let's take a look at roads. So roads cost materials. If we go in here, we go to manage roads now that we have access to roads down here in the bottom corner. We go to manage roads. We can start building roads between our cities. So we click on a city, and then we click on another city to build the road. You can see it costs 25 materials. It's going to take 12 turns to build, but we might as well get that going. This happens simultaneous to everything else that you're doing. So now we may also want to connect these two cities together, right? 10 materials only because we're already using part of the road. It does that automatically for you. Connects these two regions. That's not bad. Also, now these regions are connected as well, right? So we don't need an extra road between those. You can also see that Italy is busy building their own roads. They have 6 turns left. So Italy is building roads as well. So we'll have a nice trade connection there. And we might as well also connect these two. Right? We'll go ahead and run that connection. And then we'll have our empire connected by roads. Once we get our next city settle out, we'll do the same thing up in the north. So there are roads. So we got our roads building now. We like that. All right, we've spotted a military force from India. Where? Oh, just a scout. Hopefully they don't pull any shenanigans up there. We are training. We could get that swordsman out if we need to. We'd like to have him in a formation though, right? Hopefully they're not going to mess anything up. All right, is our spearman fully healed? Perfect. Our spearman's fully healed. We're just going to go hunt this cougar, I think, because we're claiming that territory. So let's just get that guy out of there. Okay. Other units that are idle, this guy. Let's cut him. Part of me wants to keep going up to the coast here. So maybe we move here first. We'll come this way. The coast appears to be right here, so maybe we can swing back around and towards Italy's territory there. This city's grown already, so I bet you they take the rice. Although they could take the copper. I don't know. I would take the rice, but I don't know what his grain situation is, you know? Okay. Mustering has begun. You can see our wedge is mustering. That's this sign right here. You can see they've mustered up to half health, and next turn they'll muster the rest of the way, and then we'll have a fighting force deployed. And we'll see how that changes our military score, right? So right now, our military strength is 31. So it's actually already counting. Already counting towards that. And Caesar's military strength has dropped by a ton. I wonder what he did that had him at 100 and now he's not there anymore. Ashoka is militarying up as well and we're at war with him. So you can see we're going to need at least one more wedge. Again, I think our wedge is much better than anything he's going to send at us. So unless he stacks his battalions together, I think we're going to be fine. But we'll want to pay attention to that as well. Okay. Next turn, there is our force. It has been mustered out. We are crafting things. Those wheels are going to get deployed right out into the stuff that's needed for them, right? Because we have all of our policies set up to do that. There's the coast. And now I think... Let's see. We can probably just cut this way, right? Yeah, let's just go back this way now. I don't need to know what's here. He's got that territory. And we still... This guy is in position now, potentially, but I can't see anything until Nemrod Dog is done. Nemrod Dog is done on the next turn, as is Stonehenge. So good. So we're still on pace for that. That should all take place within our golden. And this guy is just sitting on the spot. We can't choose whether to settle. In fact, we can't settle at all. So they'll just be sitting there. So we're just going to have them wait for a turn. And we have reached a new population milestone in Coahuila. Perfect. Where are they going? It's a great question. Well, we can get them some code of laws, which will up our city stats, which is always a good thing. And we're going to expand. We had the copper down here that I think is probably the most tempting expansion point. Let's take a look at what that one looks like. It's a 4. That's not bad. We've got the 5 with the food, but again, we're not like bad on food necessarily, and I think it would be nice. I think it's going to be nice to grab this copper. Let's grab the copper territory. So we'll grab this. We'll put the copper, the stone pit in and start to get some copper into our coffers. I think will be good. Did we grow first? We grew first! Huge! We didn't even finish the farm. We're just growing faster. That is awesome. That's actually really big. We'll get the grain store in, and we will claim here, 100%. Done. An excellent claim for us. Not that it matters, because we're at war, and we're probably just going to burn that city down, but there's the claim we needed. And so now Neza can indeed take this coastal tile, and because we will have a spot for our docks over here, even if we don't get this burnt down, right? We plan on burning it down, apparently sooner rather than later. So, okay. This force has mustered, and I think we just move in this direction. Like, we move into an attack position, right? Like, I think that's our goal. It's a 42 strength wedge. So, let's head in this direction. We've got 22 turns left in our war. So far, we haven't seen any of his units, except for a battalion that he's got over here, which could be moving towards us. Yeah, he claimed the rice. And then the scout that's just kind of sitting up here in that land. Okay, big turn on the next one. Multiple wonders about to be completed, and then our military forces out moving and doing things. Let's see. Turn number 79, big turn.
You have raised Stonehenge.
I love the narrator of this game gets like very excited about not little things, but like when you build a wonder. I love her like exuberance at the building of the wonder. It's awesome. Okay. Let's check out the triumphs first, because I think that was the key focal point that we've been having for this episode. Triumph complete. Stonehenge is done. Look at the people celebrating. There it is. Stonehenge is built. Out near the coast. Everyone is gathering from our empire to admire the wonder of Stonehenge. Beauty. We got Nemrut docked on as well. And so the same celebration happening in the capital as the Nemrut dog goes up. The wonders are really pretty. I mean, everything about this game is really pretty. Y'all know that I love the look of this game, but there's Nemrut dog as well. Double wonders. Same turn with the 25% bonus to prestige. Huge. And so we have pushed very far into the lead. Very far into the lead. Again, I can't remember what we're playing at. Viscount or something, or Marquess, like Marquess. I'm not really sure. I can't remember what the difficulty is we're playing at. We're not playing at a super high difficulty, but you can see that taking advantage of Golden Ages, building triumphs, definitely nets you a ton of prestige. Triumphs are very important in this game from a prestige standpoint. Getting them done during Golden Ages is even better, and we were just able to build 2 in 1 Golden Age, which is huge. So big benefits to our cities. Not only do we get all of the bonuses of those things, but we're also getting the prestige from them, right? So it's just a big deal. So there we go. 2 regions claimed. We are crafting a bunch of things. And since we have Nemrut Dog, no, next turn. See, Nemrut Dog gets built. We don't get the city cap until next turn, so we still can't do anything with that settler up there. But again, that's fine. All right, we got a new farm that is done. These guys got their farm done, so that is fine and dandy. We need to get some plows built. One of our workshops, we need to turn loose on some plows. It's definitely something we need to do here in the near future. So they are switching back to building dwellings, and I'm not actually sure that's the best. I'm not actually sure that's the best call. They don't need dwellings quite yet, so let's flip them back to a farm. We'll put a farm on our, what is this, tobacco? Tobacco gets you some decent gold, so let's get a tobacco farm in. We'll put that in first. This is a 10-turn build, but that's fine. I think we want to just kind of get those farms up and running. We could put a granary in that city as well. That might be something to think about, is getting a granary into this territory, because we're going to have 3 farms there. That would be a nice little spot for the granary, potentially. And we're probably running low on grain build. We're still building at an okay rate. We just put one into this city, and we're still fine, apparently. Probably because we've got our experts in our granaries, right? That's important probably for us. 35 health hunting the cougar. Ouch. Not what you like to see. All right. Consuming. This unit is idle, and we will push into this territory to continue. The Caribbean Sea is up at the north. Interesting. If things are named based off of the empires around them, that might tell us a little something about who's who and what. All right, so we're going to sit right here. We're going to hope that one of these two territories is the one. This one would be perfect, to be honest, because it's right adjacent to a bunch of great stuff and a nice coastal territory for our docks. So that would be really nice, but they'll just sit there for now. We have an event. Interesting! Mr. Ashoka doubting his abilities. You know what? You know what we're going to do? We're going to ready our armies, chat. I'm pretty set on burning this city down. Let's get plus 10 security in all cities for 30 turns. That is a decision that I have never made before in this game. There we go. We are committing to the burning of New Agra. Look, he declared war on me. I actually want to be at war with Italy right now, which is funny. Okay, so we want to get this altar done. I'm gonna check builds now that our triumphs are in, right? We want to get this altar done. I'm gonna commit to the altar build. I think that's fine. After the altar, I think we'll go into probably an archer so we can get our second wedge formation out. In the capital city, though, we do not need this butcher shop right now. What we do need is archers, right? So let's get archers out. We're gonna need to get one from each of the cities probably just to keep things moving. So let's bump the archer up. So we'll get an archer out there. We already have in 3 turns a swordsman out there, and then we'll get another archer probably from Neza, because in 2 turns Neza can start building an archer. So we'll have another wedge formation to put out here in the near future. Okay, let's keep things rolling. We now have access actually even to build some other things, like some war elephants or that kind of stuff, which could also, we don't have elephants, but we do have horses, so we could build horsemen. All right, let's get to leatherworking really quick, just in case we want to get any tanneries in any of our cities. I think that will be important. And we have met another nation? Up here? Gosh. Fascinating. All right, we'll get there. We'll get there soon. All right, the Golden Age has ended. There's the Golden Age ending, but it didn't. We got all the bonuses we wanted from it. We really didn't leave anything on the table there, so that feels good. Crafted a bunch of good things. We have removed predators, getting us fur feast and a food. Our guy is once again, highly damaged. Let's see, where's the next? We'll figure him out here in just a second. Okay. Hex, and then here's our idle units. So we'll poke in over here. Look at this. I mean, it's not great land, but there's gonna be good stuff up here eventually. I guess maybe maybe we just end up wiping everyone out on this continent. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Are these guys idle? They move? No, they're still. Oh, it's not. Yeah, sorry. Pointing me at the spearmen. Let's see, spearmen. What's the deal? We have some easier hunts like here and here, and I feel like that would give us even some information on what's happening. Although if we get trapped into a fight, we'll lose our spearmen, right? Because you can't retreat in this game as of yet. So we may want to just stick with hunting in our own land. In which case, getting rid of some of these tigers might be a good plan. We probably want to heal before we do that. Although we could probably run one attack, right? 50% chance to lose 40 hit points. He's got 50. So we could run one attack on the tiger and then have to heal. We're going to have to monitor that pretty closely anyway. So let's go run one attack on the tiger. We need to remember that's happening, though, because if we don't, then he might die. All right. Oh, wow. If they're right here, if that's a settler, all right. We can check our settle lens now, so we can see zones. Thank goodness. Although, again, we have to calculate off of it. Okay, so this is a... Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That's a 5? This is also a 5? Oh, beauty. So we just settle this, right? That's a pretty simple decision. Oh, there's some nice land up here. That is some nice land. This is a 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? With the llamas? Llamas is a farm? That's an excellent granary territory. Oh man, this land is nice. Holy smokes. Okay, so we'll just settle right here. We'll put the gathering hall in one of the small ones, like right here. Boom, done. Settle it. Don't let anyone forward settle me anymore. Now we're gonna be the forward settlers. What are you doing, Italy? Stop claiming into my land. Burn this city down. I might not burn that one down. I might keep that one. We're gonna burn this one down. We're gonna burn that one down. I don't know. We're gonna burn. We kind of want this one too, right? The difference is we don't get the extra expert. We might just be burning down and rebuilding cities. To be honest, we'll have to see if that's worth it or not. All right. Okay. We have an interesting choice here. We can recommend a decrease in rank for the general who abandoned battle to go to his dying wife. That gets us minus 15 city security, which is not optimal, seeing as how we are currently trying to increase our city security. We can discharge them from the army, giving us minus 15 city happiness for 20 turns, which is also not great, but it gets us plus 1 force strength for 20 turns, or we can submit the general to capital justice, which essentially means we off him. Minus 1 force strength for 20 turns, but plus 15 city security, which more than makes up for the minus 1 force strength by getting bonuses. I don't love the idea of... I mean, the 15 security is arguably much better than the plus 1 force strength, I think, because it's going to get you more force strength than that, usually. It's going to get you a better bonus than that, is my assumption. We don't want to take the security penalty, although the happiness would be nice from a crafting standpoint. I don't want to take the happiness penalty because that causes our cities to go down. So, unfortunately, I think the general's got to die. We're going to take the minus 1 force strength for the 15 city security, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Mr. General. I'm sorry about your wife. I'm sorry about you abandoning the... But look, for the good of the Empire. For the good of the Empire. Craft queue is empty. Perfect. What are we looking at? We're doing good on feasts, and we're doing not so good on code of laws. So let's get some more code of laws crafted. Go. Our roads are getting built. Our armies are churning. We have a nation to meet.
You've become aware of a new nation.
Hildegard von Bingen of Germany. Well met. Can we be friends? We're neutral right now. Can I give you a gift? What would you say to a feast? Plus 5 relationship? How about a pot? No, not so much. I'll offer 1 feast. Look, we need friends at this point. I'll send you a feast. So it's a scout. No one is in the water yet, is my assumption. So I guess this must go way up here. And they must be up here. Maybe that's why Italy is settling in this direction. Surprised we didn't meet them sooner if they are indeed like clashing for territory. All right, let's go 1 more turn. 1 more turn in this episode. That means we'll get 11 instead of 10. Cannery's done. We'll select our final tech of this age, weaving, and then we'll be preparing to move into the next tech age. We've met a tribe. The Daman tribe, and we are sitting right down in the middle with them, so that's perfect. If we get them to join, that would be lovely. I am going to move directly into their territory so we can clear more fog. But again, like, look at the resources up here. Why are you coming down here? Look, I get it. I understand, but look at all this land that you could have had. It's fine. The city of Marche. That Marche or Marche? March? We just call it March for fun? That's definitely an Italian city name, right? Because they would have explored that area first. Got some stuff crafted. We have a military force spot. Oh, here they are. Here's the battalion. And they are not moving where we thought they were going to go. They are, in fact, heading towards Coahuila. Why are they over here? We are in the opposite side of that. Okay. All right. Well, it's going to take us forever to get a force up there, so if they choose to attack that city, we're just plain in trouble. We did not have a defensive force anywhere near that particular location. So we'll just attack their city while they attack ours, and we'll see maybe if they pull back their troops to try to defend their land. I mean, like, look, if they only have a 15, they only have a 15 strength battalion. My battalion is 28 strength, so much better than theirs. So we just need to get a second. We need to get a second battalion, a second wedge formation out, and then we'll be off and running, right? Hopefully they don't do anything crazy. Altar is complete. The gathering hall is complete in our other city, and we have more events. All right, +2 relationship and +10 prestige for 50 wealth. How much wealth do we have? A ton. Done. Send them medical aid. Look, we're already close with them. Beauty. You love to see that. Craft queue is empty. Excellent. Well, we are good on feasts. We are okay on code of laws. So go ahead and snag me some code of laws, will you? You know what? You might as well just full on boost those babies. Give me 5 code of laws. Germany has declined my gift. It was a free feast, Germany. Unbelievable. All right, we got a big thing to do. We got found our religion. I might save that for the next episode, to be honest. I think opening the next episode by founding our religion is probably good, but let's get the rest of the turn over with before we do that. Neza is ready to build something, and I believe we're going to go with archers, right? We need to go archers, and I think we might need to rush said archers. I might just spend the gold to straight rush these archers. So we're going to put the archers in, and then the gold cost to just get them is 187. So we're just going to straight rush the archers. That means we have archers in 1. Over here we have archers in 2, so we're going to straight rush this as well. 27 gold. That gets us archers out on next turn, and then 1 turn on the swordsman. So our swordsman and both of our archers will be out on the next turn. That will allow us to deploy a force as quickly as possible. The hope is that we muster them at Aneza and move them up. We'll have to pay attention to what these guys do. If we have to muster them at a Koahula, we can. It would be optimal, obviously, to muster them out of Neza, because if we look now, Neza has a 100 security at this time. Because of the extra security bonuses that we've gotten through those events, we have a 50% force strength bonus on our military right now coming out of Neza. That is enormous. So that's probably one of the reasons why this group is so potent at 28, because they have that ridiculous bonus coming out of Neza. So that will set us up, I think, pretty well into our next little space there. This city can just, again, we'll put initial turns, we'll just put into the dwelling, right? So we'll put a dwelling in first, slot it like right here. We'll go dwelling for a little bit. We want to throw the feast in here as well, so we'll get their feast going. That is that. Oh, and their expert. Our expert, don't forget our expert, because we're Benito and we're OP. So we got that city up and running. We wanted it to be this city, but you know what? This ends up being just a fine play. We're gonna get access to more grains. We've got access to more grains up here if we can stretch that far. Arguably, I think we can. We'll probably claim this. This will be first. This might be second for the docks, and then 3rd and 4th. That'll be like the claim order probably in that city. And that will get them up and running, and we'll get access to a bunch of stuff. Eventually, we want this, and we'll take it. But for now, we're off and running. We've got a second army that's going to come out on the next turn, and at the start of the next episode, we will found our religion and get a sense of what religion is like in the game of Ara History Untold. That will do it for today's episode, though. We will pick this back up next week and see what the game has in store for us. What an interesting turn of events. Forward settled again by Italy. Aggression and a war coming from India on the other side. And as per usual, the Forex strategy genre proving to create fascinating gameplay. Ara's been a lot of fun to play. I hope you're enjoying the series. If you are, hit that thumbs up button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on so you know when we release these videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.